Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We're continuing in Hachzeg's learning of the Pele Yoetz, day number 233, in the chapter of his Oros of inspiration, finding ways to inspire yourself to achieve greater levels in Avodas Hashem. V'ulam, however, his Oros mayal mishu chai. His Oros only helps to someone that is alive. Ach yashanu, even if he's sleeping, you can still awaken him. When you awaken, and when you awaken him, and you say, Ben Adam, Malach Hanidam, why are you sleeping? Get up, rise up. So he'll get up then, or get up, and he has to do his chayv, his obligations in the world. Meaning, if you find someone that's sleeping, and he's supposed to be awake, so you shake him, you wake him, and you say, no, what are you doing? You're sleeping right now. It's time to get up for Shachris. It's time to go and do this. You got to get to work. You got to do your job. So he'll wake up and he'll do it. Mishu mace, but someone that's already a mace, they're a corpse. Whatever waking up, whatever shaking you do, whatever inspiration, it's not going to help. Shein basa mace margish beizma, like it says in the Gemara, the flesh of a corpse, of a dead person, doesn't feel the knife. You can cut into it, doesn't feel anything. Kain hadavar azer, says the Pele Yoetz with scathing words over here. The same thing is true over here in spiritual hisorus, spiritual inspiration and spiritual awakening. Shemi shenaga yiras Hashem beliba is someone that has already allowed the fear of Hashem to touch his heart. However, the Yitzhar has got him in his grasp. And he's convinced the person to go against what he knows is the right thing, and he's going against the das, the will of Hashem. Until after so many days, the things that he's doing that are wrong, he's doing it behergel, just he does it automatically. And he thinks it's mutter, he thinks it's permissible, he thinks it's permissible to daven every single tefillah of your life without ever thinking about what you're saying. He thinks it's permissible to make a bracha on the food and never even understand what you're saying in the brachas. He thinks that it's fine to sit and learn and not understand what you're saying when you're sitting and learning. He thinks it's fine. Or he speaks Lashon Hara, or he has a bad midah of kas, or something like that. It's whatever, that's what I do. What's the big deal? As kashiyavoi, but if this person now will open up a Musar Sefer like a Pele Yoetz and will begin to be awakened by the words that are written here, what you hear as he goes to a drasha and the speaker says something that's mavala harayin, which means that it just awakens him and he begins to hear, whoa, I didn't realize that's what it means. So then his heart will awaken. Will begin trembling inside. He'll have terrible regret, real regret. Is truthful. He's going to look for the medicine, for the healing agent, for his machla, for his sickness. He'll do tshuva and he'll be healed. And be healed. Now that's a person, if he already has a bit of Yiras Shamayim in his heart, he was duped by the Yitzhara again and again and again and again, and he thinks everything is mutter when it's really not. But inside, he's a good person. He fears the Rebbeinu Shalom, he has awe of Hashem. So when you get the spark going inside of the heart, you awaken the fires. He comes back to life, and he can do tshuva and come back to Hashem. But that's not the same with Rishoyim, with the wicked. Those that are drowning in the mire of their averos. The fear of Hashem is nowhere near them. They don't see fear of Hashem at all. Because of the sinfulness, because of the impurity, the tumah of their many sins. The presence of the Shekhinah, the glory, the shine of the Shekhinah is very, very far away from them. The spirit of tumah, of impurity, is on the inside and the outside of them. They're covered in the majority of sins. And because it became so habitual by them, they think that it's permissible. And whatever they do is I'm doing the right thing. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I'm right. Everybody else is wrong. They say you should do this and this. I'm right. And they're wrong. On such people, Rabbi Chazal tell us, the wicked people, even when they are alive, they're called dead. Because they are so spiritually dead and numb in this world. No matter what you say to them, no matter how inspiring of a person you are, no matter how much that story that makes everybody's hair stand on end doesn't do anything to them. And therefore, says the Pele Yoetz, that person is in big trouble. Because where or how are you going to access the hisorus, the inspiration, and awaken them? This person, besides the fact that they'll never be ma'ira, they'll never awaken themselves, even if they would hear words of inspiration from the svarim that they read or from other people, speakers that are telling them, they'll never feel a thing, nothing. It won't touch them, and they won't be margish anything, because there's so many barriers between them and the emes and the truth and being awakened to the powers of kedusha. It's almost a losing battle. Ba'oizen achas, listen to the words of the Pele Yoetz. Ba'oizen achas yikansu adavarim. The words that he hears will enter into one ear, and they will come right out the other ear. In one ear, out the other. He hears nothing. He thinks of nothing. It doesn't affect him. It doesn't touch him. Nothing. Such people, such Rishayim, there's almost no way to correct their sordid situation that's here in this world. The gates of tshuva are locked in front of them. How could they ever do tshuva if what they're doing is just and right in their eyes? Their heart will never awaken and be inspired. Lasa is time to do the right thing, and to regret the bad things they've done. And the Yitzhar smooths everything out in order that this person just find the sin. Everything is okay, my friend. Don't worry, you're doing the right thing. They despise the chachamim, the wise men, and they even argue. And they even argue and combat the words of Chazal HaKedoshim. Chazal HaKedosh Elyon. They're kimat neviim. They were one step away from the Rebbeinu Shalom. They have the greatest wisdom in the world. You, a little pipsqueak down here in this world, you're going to be mefakvek. You're going to argue on the words of Chazal HaKadoshim. You're going to say Chazal didn't know what they're talking about. Chas v'chalila. Chazal were anokim gedolim. They were gigantic giants of spirit, of wisdom, of kedusha. We can't argue. But a person that's a rasha, a person whose heart is numb, a person who, even though they look like they're alive, but Chazal say that they're really dead because they have no spirituality at all, such a person cannot even allow himself to hear the words of Chazal. Like Rashi brings in Parshas Bechukoisai, Sheshiva Averis Harishonos Goreres. Sheshiva Averis. There's 7 sins that the Jewish people did that caused their downfall, which caused all the klalas, all the curses to come to them. Harishono Goreres Hashniya. The first sin brings about the second sin, and Hashiz all the way up until the 7th one. Shekevich and Eloimed ve'ein oiseh. Says the Pele Yoetz quoting Rashi. What's the first thing? He didn't learn, and therefore he can't do. If you don't learn, how can you do the mitzvahs? When you don't do the mitzvahs, you start despising other people that you see busy doing mitzvahs. Why? Because he likes it like this. Misery loves company. And if I see other people that are learning, other people that are davening, other people doing mitzvahs, it bothers me because I'm not doing them myself. So therefore, I don't like when I see other people doing the mitzvahs. He starts hating the chachamim, the wise people, the sages. And he causes other people not to do the mitzvahs also. He gives out his hand to sinners and he's koifer, he denies the mitzvahs, but koifer big, and he ends up denying HaKadosh Baruch Hu at the end of the day. It's one step after another, 7 levels that a person is going to warp themselves under as a result of their negativity in the world of Ruchnius. And the reason is because the light of Torah never shone on them. And they continue to walk in the ways of darkness until the day of their death. And they will constantly work hard and run to descend into the Be'er Shachas, that lowly world down there, and nothing will be able to heal them. Says the Pele Yoetz, if you have Yirah Shamayim in your heart, even if you make mistakes, we can wake you up. We can pump up your heart of hisorus, of inspiration, and you can become a very ruchnistic person again. But if you're mamish in the world of the Rishoyim, and you are so far gone from your Yiddishkeit, from your avodas Hashem, from your connection with the Rebbeinu Shalom, so you're living in chayshech, you're living in darkness, you're walking down dark paths, you can't even see anything going on, and even if you have the greatest amount of hisorus in the world, in one ear, out the other, a person cannot listen and hear anything at all, and it brings them to terrible midas of hating Talmid Chachamim, hating Chazal, hating other people that are doing the mitzvah of Hashem, until you try to pull everybody else away. Rachmana litzlan lo aleinu. In Yetz Hashem, we should be from the nation and the camp of his misayrim, those people that are inspiring and awakening themselves and the others around with us as well. All the best.